Yep. So things are going good. Well, I say that things are okay. They're not great. They've quarantined us.
I
We've
know,
been
like,
quarantined since Thursday. I think Thursday is when it started, and then they were like, "Okay, guys, we're going to be locked down for 5 days." It's like, okay, cool. Like,
now
like,
it's 10.
well, now it's indefinite. And I'm just like, okay, like this is. I mean, it's turning into just a more and more. I mean, if one person is positive, and the thing is it's Omicron. That's the other thing. It's like now China is like reverting back to kind of like I guess how it was like during the actual like 2020. Like it's reverting back to that where it's like okay, everybody's got a lot. Well, at least Shanghai, I should say China, Shanghai everybody's got to be locked down. You can only order stuff to get delivered to you, and there's nothing else you can do. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, thought we were done with this crap for I thought we were done with this crap for 2 years, and now all of a sudden it's kicking back in. And the biggest thing is like it's definitely a challenge for the Chinese government. Like I will give props to the Chinese government because 2 years, I mean, it was pretty much free reign. Like you could move about the country however you wanted to. But one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest challenges is just like I can't leave. If I leave China, it's going to be like the only way I can move back is by moving like heaven and earth. Like hell would have to freeze over in order for me to be able to move back. And
So let's
there's
ask you this. So
not
are you now thinking about moving back?
I mean, there is that thought, that discussion.
There is a thought or discussion. And
There
what
is a
is that
discussion going
thought
on.
or discussion?
Well, it's just more along the lines like we're like the wife and I are debating on whether to come back or not because so we were supposed to be locked down for 5 days, right? We ended up getting locked down, so we were supposed to be locked down from like 3 a.m. on the 1st of April to 3 a.m. today. And but we ended up getting because if I'm not mistaken, the 1st of April was Friday. Yeah, but they ended up locking us down on Thursday, and so because originally we were planning on going out on, or they may have even locked us down on Wednesday. They did. They locked us down on Wednesday. That's right, because I was supposed to go and work out on Wednesday. That's right. So they locked us down on Wednesday, which was the 30th, and so we weren't able to go out and get like supplies and stuff like that. So we've been locked down since the 30th, basically, and then
Well, locked down.
well, as in like technically we're not supposed to be out of our apartment.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're not supposed to be doing, but
Yeah.
we both know that
Well,
that's
the
not
challenge
always
is
the case.
and that's the thing is like the challenge is like I mean just kind of hearing some of the things. I mean we've got food. I mean the government has been really good about getting us food, but as far as just getting this whole thing under wraps, I mean it's Omicron. I don't think there's any. I mean, I think it's one of the wimpiest variants of this, and I think it's high time that the government just kind of like opens its doors. I mean, the thing is like it's interesting because I've been doing some research on what's been going on in the states and stuff like that, or what's been going on in the West, and what they've been saying is basically it's people who are old and people who are fat who are
Old and
susceptible
fat?
to it. You got to be old and you got to be fat, or like mostly like most of the people who have died. Like I think they said 70% of the people who have died from COVID were obese or overweight. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, not that that's good for me or anything like that, but I'm just like looking at it. And I'm like, huh. I'm like that kind of points to this idea that maybe maybe the loosening of restrictions is a better idea, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can convince the Chinese government to do that.
What?
So How are things over there? Like what are the, I guess, like what kind of stipulations and restrictions are still in effect over there?
None that I know of.
None, really.
I mean, like if you get sick, you can choose. Uh, you can choose to stay home. If you don't want to stay home and you're, how do I explain it? Let's see. If you don't want to stay home, um, technically you don't have to. Like you don't have to report yourself anymore at all. I mean, I don't think you really have to report yourself anyway. But there's not really. I mean, everything's pretty much open back up. To a point. I mean, there's a couple of places that still are shut down, like for like 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 half of the fast food joints are still just drive through only.
Really
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. Huh.
yeah, stuff like that. But pretty much it's nothing too horrible, honestly. Oh, let me think about how to say it. It is I mean, honestly, like I can't really think of much, you know, much change. There's still some retards walking around with mask on.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving out free masks at Walmart, but
At least
I
they're
mean,
giving them out for free.
there's just places aren't 24/7 anymore. Walmart's not 24 hours a day anymore.
Mm.
I don't
What are
think you
they?
have
What are they at?
7 to 11.
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
Like there's no spots anymore that are 24/7. I don't even think Waffle House is 24/7.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, you go to a bar. A bar is like 24/7, but
Well, probably not 24/7 at a bar.
yeah,
They probably,
it's really not. Yeah.
yeah, really just more in the evening and early morning. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was listening to Russell Brand earlier, and he was talking about how like fast food companies apparently are putting like they put chemicals into the food, obviously, but he kind of like positioned it in such a way or saw like news articles that kind of showed that some of the chemicals that are actually in fast food are actually creating an issue with COVID and making it more people who get the vaccine, making it the vaccine less effective because of these chemicals that are in their bodies because they eat fast food and is really interesting. And like one of the like a guy who was reached out to in relationship to like talk about it, he's like, oh, it's just fear mongering. It's just just they're just trying to get headlines and they're just trying to make people feel bad and make them scared. And it's just, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that kind of seems like it's, you'll hear people be like, oh, okay, well, we need to do all these restrictions for COVID, and we need to protect ourselves and protect the health of people. But then, with fast food, it's like, oh, okay, no, well, there's a certain level of chemicals you can put into food, and it's fine and stuff like that. And apparently, it even leads to erectile dysfunction too. Like and erectile dysfunction as well as fertility issues.
What's that?
Fertility issues.
Fertility issues.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The chemicals that are in the stuff, so in the fast food. So
Really?
yeah, man.
That's crazy.
I mean, China's done some amazing stuff. I mean, like in the past 30 years, the growth that China has gone through is ridiculous. Like, never seen it in any other country that quickly ever. And so the amount of growth that they're experiencing here is phenomenal, which is one of the reasons why they are the number two economic power and potentially could become number one. Now, I think because of COVID, like it's kind of put a kind of like a stop on their growth, and especially because like it's really almost impossible for people to be able to travel from anywhere else in the world and get to China right now. It's just almost asinine how difficult it is to be able to do it. And I understand that they're trying to protect old people. I guess they're trying to protect old people but they're like the rhetoric is that it's just like this is a really bad thing. We're having outbreaks and da 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 da, but they don't actually like we're not even being told right now whether this is Omicron or this is something else. I mean, I think just recently we were told it was Omicron, and it's like Omicron isn't really that big of a deal.
So Disney World has too many visitors right now. Is the problem they're facing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, carry on. I apologize.
How is that? How is that a problem? How is that a problem? I don't know.
Because you have to have reservations to get in there now, and there's people just showing up because everybody's on vacation.
Oh, is it Spring Festival or Spring Festival? Jeez, is it Spring Break?
It is spring break, yes, sir.
Listen, listen. It's been a long time since I've been in the States. I don't remember the names of certain holidays. It's like
Yeah,
Labrador Day. Just if it's not Tomb Sweeping Day or Spring Festival or Dragon Boat Festival, then I'm like, I don't know. I like it would like we need to come up. By the way, speaking of which, I think that these are very creative names for holidays. Like we have like Labor Day. We have
but I mean, are y'all actually sweeping tombs? Is that what's going on in China right now?
technically yes, yeah, just not in Shanghai. Like we can't go do diddly squat.
I mean,
Like
I
if
don't
I want to
know.
go,
Y'all have some crazy holidays. Like it's like, why is there so many?
so it's so if you kind of like look at it, it's actually the biggest holiday is going to be Spring Festival,
So
which is the
you got
Chinese New Year.
Tomb Sweeping Day, then you got the
Yep,
Dragon Boat Festival, the
yep,
Mid Autumn Festival, the
yep.
National Day, which is you have 6 national days or something like that. One, two,
Mm-mm.
5 national
Oh,
days.
you get yeah, you get all those. You get that whole time off. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
So let's go with this. So let's break it down. Do you have the list of holidays in front of you?
Not all of them. Like
Well,
go ahead
okay,
and break them down. Go ahead and break them down.
I'll
Now
go through.
let's just say I don't have them. How about that?
Okay, I'll go through. I'll explain to you what each one kind of is. Whatever ones you've kind of like mentioned and stuff. So first thing on the docket, Tomb Sweeping Day, which is technically what we're in right now. It's Qingming Festival, or Qingming Jie, which is Tomb Sweeping Festival. Basically, it's a time for you to be able to go back and visit the cemeteries or the tombs of where your ancestors are. You know, whether it's your mother, father, grandfather, grandmothers, your great grandmothers, great grandfathers, aunts, uncles, just anybody in your ancestry, you go back and you visit their tomb and you actually do sweep it. Like you actually clean it up. Like you bring in like new flowers or new decorations and stuff like that. And it's just a way of paying homage and respect to your ancestors. It's just kind of
Right.
that. Sometimes, depending on beliefs, they may actually burn like fake money to be sent as like an offering. They may burn fake money, and they may burn or offer. They don't burn it, but they offer like fruits and vegetables. They put those into a bowl and like kind of put it at the tomb of their ancestors as an offering for them in the. I don't know what kind of afterlife. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not too familiar with the uh, mythology of what some Chinese
Mythology.
not mythology, but the mythology in the sense that like I like they do believe it, while I am not a believer in it. But like they'll even pray to their ancestors. They'll pray to certain gods. Like some of them do. I'm not saying like
Oh,
all of them
oh,
do, but they'll
I
they'll do
lost you.
that.
Can you hear me?
And so it's kind of it is kind of
Can you hear me?
linked to an extent into like what we saw with like Mulan in Disney, and we'll get back to Disney in a bit. But like where they do talk to their ancestors, kind of thing. Then you have Dragon Boat Festival. Dragon Boat Festival, honestly, I'm not exactly sure why they have it. The reason is because there are dragon boats. There were dragon boats, and there was something about it being on a river or something. I don't know if it's like because there was like a battle many, many years ago, like thousands of years ago, that used dragon boats. I'm not exactly sure what the dragon boats are for, but that happens. So we're just going to kind of like skip that. Then we have Mid Autumn Festival. Mid Autumn Festival is again just kind of it's kind of like a celebration of getting into autumn, like the end of the summer, or like maybe giving your harvest kind of thing, like in that time, like celebrating that time. Um, they also have then I think after that they have National Day. National Day is basically kind of like an honor of the Chinese Communist Party, like when they were first instituted, like when the nation became like quote unquote a nation, and so that's in October. That's at the beginning of October generally, and then trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of. Nope. And Spring Festival. Spring Festival is just basically their Thanksgiving and Christmas all wrapped into one. Basically, you get like a week or two off depending on where you work. Generally, if you work at a normal job, you probably get a week off. If you work as me as like a teacher, you may get 2 to 3 weeks off, maybe a month to celebrate. And basically, it's just when you go home and you get gifts, but most of the time it's just like you just get money kind of thing. They actually like cut out the middleman. I don't go buy you like they may go buy you like new clothes and stuff, but otherwise it's like they just give you money. They're like, here you go, here's some money, enjoy. You're like, thanks, this is great. They'll give me money, obviously, but generally they'll give their children money. And so even with that, it's basically just going home, spending time with your family, like going to your hometown. Like even if your parents and you live in Shanghai, this may not be considered your hometown. Even if you were born in Shanghai, if your family comes from a different place, then that's considered your hometown, wherever your family is, like wherever most of your family is. Like for instance, so my wife's stepdad, his family is from Hubei, which is a province here, and which is actually where Wuhan was. Not specifically Wuhan, but about 200 kilometers away from Wuhan. And so generally every spring festival, he goes out there to spend time. Even though he lives in Hangzhou, he still will pack up everything, go out to Hubei, and spend time with his family there. And so that's kind of like a big hoopla. Like that's the biggest hoopla. It's very much like us, but generally it's going back to your hometown, just because generally most people always have that connection to their hometown, and they don't really. That's why there's so many people who travel at that time. Like they just go, like, and they will take themselves and their children, or themselves, their children and their grandchildren. They'll take everybody and go. I mean, it's a massive amount of people moving.
Speaking of hometowns, what do you consider your hometown?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Chattanooga.
Really?
Yeah, just because I've spent so much more time there. Like, but I will say this: my American hometown, Chattanooga. My Chinese hometown, Hangzhou. Like because I feel like a personal connection to Hangzhou, just because it's where I met my wife. It's where we got married. That's where her family is, and that's where I've spent most of my time in China. Now, if we end up staying in Shanghai, if the borders open, the only way that I see us staying in Shanghai for a longer time is if the borders, if China relaxes their policies about who can come back. Because like, if I can come and visit and then come back pretty relatively easily, then I think just staying here and being able to get, produce more podcasts, do more teaching, get more money saved up will be better here. If that happens, then I see that being the case, and us being here for probably quite a bit longer. I don't see, because the thing is like we're probably not going to educate our children in China unless we do like homeschooling kind of thing.